It's our first time giving this a try. What we're going to do is walk through creating a chatbot and an AI agent that is going to help us with this live chat. And what I'm actually doing is just recording a call. Isabel's on the other side. So you can say, hello, Isabel. We don't have her in the screen, but this is just a meeting with Isabel. Isabel?
Oh, hey guys.
And the reason, Isabel, I wanted to do this is it's actually going to give you a chance to actually ask questions along the way. Obviously, with this type of stuff, I've done it a bunch of different times. I just go through it, bang, 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 but sometimes there's some questions along the way that I could have answered. And so this is a bit of training for Isabel, but we're also going to send it to clients who might even put it online. So we'll use ourselves as an example here, and this is a funnel that we built just for local SEO, yeah? Right now, it's a very basic website. It's completely white, and we've just got these two call to action buttons. We've got call us or inquire with us. So, give us a call or fill out a form and inquire with us. Now, the problem is these two options where people must give us their details to hear back from us. And in this world of so many different people capturing people's details, I find that unless 80% confirmed that they want to reach out to you, sometimes they just become like a person on a website might just become a bit of a window shopper and not want to call or inquire. So this is where the third option is a chatbot. And it just kind of becomes another option to solve two problems. One, capture leads from people that are on the fence, and two, it allows people to ask questions that we can look back at the questions they asked and see if we can improve the actual landing page to answer that question in the future, right? And to further emphasize this, I might even look at some of the Google Ads data recently. We ran some local SEO Google Ads. We can see things like Google Business Agency, web design companies near me, relating to the Google Business, keyword research for SEO. So some of these, like digital marketing, someone's just searched digital marketing, it's 7 clicks, it's cost us $41, but these guys haven't actually inquired, right? In fact, the 2 out of those 7 had, but there's a bunch that didn't. So it's all to get better value or a better chance of some sort of communication from these searches, yeah? So that's kind of the problem and the improvements that we're trying to solve. Any questions so far, Isabel?
No, that all seems to make sense.
The other thing I was going to say is the AI is what's going to help us, because with chatbots, you need to actually get an answer to someone within a reasonable amount of time, or they're going to move on. So if we just had a live chat here and it went to someone's phone, but they didn't respond within 5 minutes, it's hard to do that when you're not at your computer all day, every day. We can send it to mobile, but that's where the AI comes into it. If we train the AI right, all we're trying to do is get it to answer some high level basic questions, but lead them to actually leaving their contact details so we can get back to them, or lead them, to give them enough confidence to now properly inquire with us. Account. And we've got this feature here, AI agents, right? And in fact, it's pretty explanatory here. Your business is losing customers every day, our own business included, our own example that I just went over, yeah? So the one that we're most interested in here is down here. Sales agent, turn leads into revenue on autopilot, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come into conversational AI. I'm going to create a bot. We're going to go to this middle one. We're going to go start from scratch. Cool. So I've got this agent here. I'm going to name it local SEO funnel, right? And we're going to go autopilot. For now, we like to roll these out onto one thing at a time, and maybe in another video we can talk about rolling it out to more channels. But here we're just going to drop it right down to the live chat, which will be what the chatbot once we turn it on. And we'll go. Now, straight away we're into how it's going to function, right?
Yep.
So here, if we do it 2 seconds, it's like too quick. So here I like to do something like let's go about 8 seconds. The maximum messages a bot can send in a conversation is probably way too many, say 20. And then I like to do this one as well. So send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through workflow, right? So essentially this means that if the chatbot takes some messages from a client, the first few messages, but I've been notified and it takes me a minute or two to take over, well, as soon as I message, the bot's not going to compete with me. Yeah. So with that in mind, maybe we add this up to 10 seconds. So essentially goes, if someone messages, you got 10 seconds to take the message, but if you don't take it, the bot will. Yeah. And then when they respond, another 10 seconds and another 10 seconds. Yeah. We're just going to save this. Now we're going to go to bot training. And we need to build a knowledge base because right now it has no context. The bot is not specific. Yeah. And as you can see here, there's already a few knowledge bases in here. But right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to knowledge base. I'm going to create a new knowledge base. Yeah. I'm going to go local SEO funnel. Yeah. Web crawler is the very first thing. So essentially, we're going to add the website that we are going to have the funnel on because a lot of the times people just don't want to read the website, especially if it's a bigger website. This is a pretty basic funnel. Yeah. So now straight away, we're giving some sort of training that's relevant to the questions that we want it to answer. Trained. Next, we can do some FAQs. What is local SEO? That's now there's a bunch of different ways that we can train this up, and I'm just going to go through a bunch real quickly. This one is a really good one, especially if you have like a company info pack. So I've just uploaded a company info pack here, and you can see that we're now into content. Cool. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can add context. You can even add like Google Documents. If you're already using AI, you can use ChatGPT to say, hey, give me a summary of our business and the types of questions that people might ask. We're kind of using the AI to train this AI. But whatever you can do to like plug in some specific information about your business at a high level, really good. Then what we do is we come back into the agent. We're going to grab this here. We're going to connect that training that we did. So the knowledge base that we had just built is there. We can add some instructions here, but I'm just trying to speed this up a little bit. And essentially we can test it straight away. Right, and now I'm going to go back to the Google Ads searches. So people were searching, if we look at these impressions, business optimization services, right? So now that was, quite a few people were searching that. So now we're going to go, okay, what would our chatbot have responded if someone said, do you offer business optimization services with a Z, which is not how we spell it in Australia? Yeah, we do. We offer website development, digital marketing strategies, and automation tools, all aimed at boosting business efficiency and meeting your specific needs. So if we're really happy with it, we just give it a thumbs up. But if we aren't happy with it, we might say. So obviously this was relating to the local SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we offer local SEO optimization, which is more focused on your Google business profile and website structure. Could you please give me a little more context? Right, so I'm trying to train my bot to ask for more context rather than to just give it black and white answers. And then when I've updated this, I'm also saying, hey, update the knowledge base. Yeah. Cool. So we can go back and forth a few times. We can ask the same question, but maybe a slight variation of it, see if it's learned. Do you offer small business? And then I'll change it to an S, organization advice. So we've obviously changed the sentence, but it's kind of similar. Yeah, so this is testing that the AI can figure these things out. Absolutely, we provide tailored optimization of small businesses going digital marketing. Let me know what you're looking to improve. So it's like a little bit better, but we could still improve this. I'm not going to go back and forth and back and forth, but you get the point here, right? Okay, so once we're happy with this, and it might take like an extra 40 minutes to actually train it, now we want to run it on the actual site. I'm going to come into here. We have built this funnel in the same system, which makes it super easy to ship the chatbot, right? So in here, I've just gone funnels into the exact funnel. Now I'm going to go to the chat widget, and sorry, there's a step before that. We're going to create the chat widget here. We go new. We're going to go live chat. This live chat, we're going to name it the local SEO. We're going to go through all of these settings here, which is like the intro messaging. And because I'm trying to speed this up, I'm just going to save this. And we're going to come back here. Settings. Local SEO funnel. Boom. I'm going to save that. Okay, now we should see, once we've got this on here, so there's the chat down here. Now all we need to do is connect this chat with the actual training that we had just done. Which is back in the AI local SEO funnel. Alrighty, so one thing to note is we can only have one primary agent that will reply to inbound messages. So you can use different AI agents for different things, but we can only have one that's going to answer the live chat. So we have got this set up now where we have set it to autopilot and we have connected the chatbot to here. And now I guess all we need to do is actually start to test it. Testing it here. Hey, do you offer local SEO for roofers? Right, so I've started a new chat. This is what we had set up. I did go through it super fast with the actual chatbot setup, but this second comment is the AI, right? So now we can go. We should be able to count those 10 seconds. Should be about right now. Right now. Right now. And this is kind of the perfect answer, but if you wanted to adjust it slightly as to how you would capture the details, okay, sure, get someone to call me. It's Sam. All right, phone number. After playing around with it and seeing how fast it responds, now you can go back in and see what it's like on the back end or adjust these types of things, right? So first of all, we're going to come into our conversations here and we can see here is the transcript, right? And we can continue train it real conversations. Yeah. So here I can do the same thing as we did before, and it's kind of like giving it extra training on real conversations, which is pretty cool. Left their details, then I did make a mistake here, but as you can see, I said, hey, it's Sam, and it has known to update the contact details here. If I did the mobile number correctly, it would have updated the mobile here, it would have updated the email here as the person. And then when a real human comes along, then they can see, okay, how did the chatbot go? Did it capture their details? Now I can reach back out to them. So super functionality here. And like I said before, if we've played around with it, some of those settings. These are all of those settings. So maybe we want to slightly adjust the color to be more on brand. The very first message. Now we can even do some cool things like we're only going to mention a representative during business hours. This is a really powerful one that we like. Essentially, we're being open and honest that, hey, you're messaging us in the middle of the night or whatever. It's obviously an AI agent, but I can either try and answer, or the team will see this transcript, and if you leave your details, we will get back to you, right? So that's a pretty cool little feature. And yeah, that's kind of, these are all self-explanatory. Obviously, it was very easy for us to ship it onto our funnel, which was built in the same system. But if we do want to embed this in WordPress, it's going to send us over to this plugin, right, which is Lead Connector. In fact, they've disconnected this. So what we will do is just go to the code, so we can get the code, and we can embed this into any type of website as a chatbot, right? So Isabel, from all of that, would you have any questions that you might find people would also have?
I don't think so. Just going off that last step, Sam, is your team able to assist with getting the code onto the website?
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
everything else
and
is
you can,
straightforward.
yeah, so you can also see here is we can do it via code or via Google Tag Manager. Now, this is something for like people running Google Ads or other type of marketing efforts. It's a new conversion action. So that's probably the one thing to also consider, because it might, yeah, you want to be able to track these conversations as conversion actions. And that's a whole nother video in itself, but it's, if someone knows Google Tag Manager, they're going to know how to do this, but we can also help set that up as well.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, so that's probably it for now. There's obviously lots of different things that we might have spotted along the way as we were doing this. I think this is the first thing where AI can really help businesses with, warming potential leads up to actually inquiring if they are trained and constantly iterated and improved, not just turned on. And the worst things that can happen and have happened in the past is, number one, the team doesn't monitor the chats, doesn't set up the actual notifications, and then they go, oh, it doesn't work, right? Or even though there was 10 chats that the chatbot had taken with no human oversight, that's just, yeah, not plugged into their admin process properly. Or two, just not properly trained at the start and not constantly improved. I treat this like any other employee, whereas like if I just spent 1 hour, half an hour to set up an employee that's going to be an admin staff for my whole business, and then never kind of came back to improve, well, yeah, it's just not going to be that effective. Whereas if you treat it like a valuable employee, then it is going to help us generate leads and save time for us. Cool. So that's probably a long enough video on all of that. For any of our clients that are interested in this, let us know. If not, sorry for wasting your time.